In the last few years, we have tried several things. We have started using Gen AI for some of our chatbot interactions, but that's really controlled on what type of intents we can service. So that's one area, customer facing, where we are seeing a lot of benefit. Of excuse me, for us, where the value comes in is to minimize calls that are going into our call center that are answered by agents. That is a big cost savings for us in trying to use it for our chatbot environment.
So we explicitly tell our customers, think of us as an extension of your team, where you're getting a human body, AI bodies, and risk advisors, and we'll take off these mission statements and implement the outcomes that you want. That you can then stand in front of your board and be defensive and say, hey, this is how I reduce risk, and here's the metrics behind that.
Yeah. How do you have the keys to my kingdom to go out and find my most sensitive information, my most sensitive data as a third party? How are you controlling that? And the way that we've done this is being able to say, well, hang on a second. We may find your data, we may pinpoint to where it is, we may help you build context around what that data is. We're not moving
We're
that
not
data.
storing that data, whatever.
We're not sampling it out of your environment. We're not taking it out of your environment. And we're not taking it out of your environment. We're not violating the data or any of the metadata around that information.
But the problem is your inferencing engine could be leveraging that confidential data that you're not supposed to be using, right?
We are not necessarily, right? Because what we're doing is creating a catalog for you that's yours. It could be on-prem, air-gapped entirely, which we've seen a lot of organizations say, hey, I want to keep that. I don't want it in your cloud.
So you need to segment your data. I don't care.
So this is the second question that comes to mind. So I've got this model that's running in the cloud, right? So I'm just being honest here. I buy this solution. I've totally given up control because it's in the cloud, right? Now, the only way I can have total control over the model, if I have the model sitting on-prem and locked down in my environment.
The red data, I hope.
Yeah,
Classified properly.
I can have it read any data and control its access as to what it's sending on the back end.
Yeah.
Because you own the model that point.
Because I own the model. But if that model is sitting in the cloud,
Yeah.
and I can't see, and I'm getting down to the list now, I can't see what's happening on the back end. I'm going to make the assumption 99% is going to feed something else in the back end.
Right, though, there's someone that helps you facilitate to get you in the position because they know how to do it.
And then someone comes in.
Then you get the third party assessment organization, and they can't be the same people. It's like you can't have Deloitte doing both of it. You got to have KPMG doing one thing, and then Deloitte. Can't be no Arthur Anderson stuff.
So kind of like the maker checklist. One person comes in, validates one thing. The next person comes in, validates the first person, which is
You can prep it yourself if you're smart enough.
We build a semantic model that even if you want to, if you're contained, data minimized within that container, you cannot get out. Like you can try as much, but then when we're designing it, we have to have the security at forefront, no exceptions, and then the obsolete governance policies that needs to be updated and say so that now we have implemented AI with these. This is the back end security. This is the front end to win that customer's trust.
You do have to you have to lock some things down, I think. I heard shadow IT, which is kind of what we're sitting here talking about, right? It's not really shadow IT, but I'm using stuff outside the control environment I'm in, right? The speed, which to me is one of the biggest, I don't know what to do about it. I wish somebody would give me the answer. This is moving at lightning speed, like the bear bar was like this, now it's like this, and it's likely to look completely different in another 6 months. And to think that we're going to regulate this through a committee, I personally think is crazy.
We engaging with people to say, like, hey, which one of these devices is really yours? And then making the call back to all the systems to standardize the data across every single device. And that use case, when we did it for one company, very big company, and now they're just telling their friends. So it's like, and then it'll reach out. If you're not using a device, it'll reach out like, do you really not have a company device? And then it'll mark it all down. So it's helping them track that inventory.
I think it's a side effect of, because the way AI came out with the all-you-can-eat buffet, of like, here, give this tool, and now you can go nuts with it. we've seen some people in some roles just be like, I don't know how they did it, but they had like 1,200 chats in a 20-day period. Right? I don't even know how I don't even think I can physically do that. Right? So like to me that means like I've stopped thinking and I'm just talking to this thing constantly and then seeing what its output is instead of like thinking about the business problem, the business use case, and what the outcome's going to be. I'm just going to be like, no, you tell me, right? Instead of thinking critically, like, and I think that's important, especially when it comes to like skills and roles on job descriptions, because how do we as leaders measure, are they actually good at doing their job?
This one might be interesting to you, delegation drift, right? Where an agent that's granted narrow authority finds a way to escalate its authority in order to accomplish the task that it was actually given.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Or it can even build another agent, right? Exactly. That's got to be something you guys worry about.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, tools like Lane Chain come in, where everything's very segmented steps and has kind of bounds around each step in the process. So, yeah.